Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by now. Here's JP.
All right, welcome in to a Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Thank you guys so much for jumping in here. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on fanstreamsports.com, our new awesome rebooted website, wherever you may be watching or listening, thank you guys so much for jumping in. The numbers have been so good over the past year and a half, and I just want to thank all our sponsors, thank all of you guys in here already in the chat that are really blowing up the FanStream Sports brand, if you will. Good morning to you, Timmy, IndyCarTim, and our Dallas affiliate. What's going on?
Good morning. Freezing my arse off here in the DF Dub. It's about 36 degrees, but at least it's sunny. So I'm going to have some sun.
They have more snow on the way to Florida. Woo-hoo.
Snow here on Saturday as well.
Ain't going to make it down to us, but maybe in the north part. So,
but it's only appropriate because we got Winter Olympics coming up.
Winter Olympics. We've got an incredible national championship game coming up on Monday night, which is going to have so many incredible storylines to it. Will Miami return to the top of the heap for the first time in 25 years? 25 years. They've been a dormant program, and they have found themselves in the NIL and transfer portal era. I think we should like do a little deep dive into what is successful in the new age. How does it work? How is Kurt Signetti doing it? Had a wonderful lunch yesterday with Charlie Strong after we did our show yesterday, and we talked. Orestes Estrada joined us, and we talked for hours about college football and state of what's going on there. Obviously, Charlie has been, so instrumental in many national championship runs. Head coach at USF in Texas. I mean, few know more about the college game and recruiting than Charlie Strong, one of the greatest to ever do it. And he has some definite opinions on what needs to happen in college football. So we'll deep dive on that a little bit. If you guys have thoughts on what you think needs to happen to normalize college football again, I think honestly we're moving in the right direction. There is movement. I don't know if we'll get to what should happen, but we'll see. I think they're gonna try to fix it. We'll see what happens.
I have some interesting thoughts on recruiting, the way, and a massive change in the way teams will recruit a very specific position in this new age of NIL. And I think it's kind of messing up what I do in reporting, college football recruiting. And I hate it, but I get it. I'll throw that out there as well.
Okay, so we'll get into that, but obviously the top priority right now for the Buccaneers is finding an offensive coordinator. And they interviewed Todd Monken yesterday, had him in the building. He texted with Rick Stroud, who said, basically, we're in no hurry here, which may not be what I want to hear. Because evidently John Harbaugh looks like he may be settling in New York with the Giants and Jackson Dart and Scattaboo and that whole group. There's some good talent on that young roster. No question about it. Why anyone would want to work in New York is beyond me. But, it's not – well, obviously it is Todd Monken's choice, but to go to the Giants with John Harbaugh obviously would be a much more stable situation than coming to Tampa Bay. I think that's, I don't think that's a shocking statement in any way, even though obviously Tampa, New York, New Jersey, Tampa. But when you're talking about football and stability and where your best chance is to kind of increase your brand, if you're Todd Monken, it's probably New York. Go there and win anything, and you're a hero for life. And I also think when he visited Tampa, Timmy, coming down into, obviously a place where he's worked, and he's worked with Jason Light and a lot of these players. He was here for 3 years as receivers coach. I think it was 3 years. I mean, he knows all the people, knows everybody. But I'm guessing he walked into this place and it was different. It's dysfunctional. I mean, we have gone from Camp Kumbaya to a building that is dysfunctional. And I don't think you can sugarcoat that, be honest with you.
I mean, dysfunction is dysfunction, and coaches recognize that immediately.
Right. 100%.
And that would not surprise me at all based on what we've seen from the outside.
Right.
Hearing now that someone on the inside might be reflecting that same sentiment.
Yeah. And you can't sugarcoat it anyway when you blow up a coaching staff like this, but you keep a certain core of them, as Todd Bowles has done. There's bound to be fracture. And it's just my sense that I don't think Jason Light is on board with all this. I don't think Jason Light is happy with what's going on with Todd Bowles when he puts together a team and watches how it is being implemented and coached out there. Mm-hmm. If I were Jason Light, I would not be happy. We haven't heard squat from him.
No. Silence is golden, JP.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about this. Silence tells me there's dysfunction.
You're right.
Going on with the Buccaneers. And if I'm Todd Monken and I come down here and I'm talking to all the powers that be, there's no question that he sees it and he feels it. And he's talked to reporters here that he's known for a long time. I don't know Todd Monken, but Scott Reynolds, Rick Stroud, a bunch of them do. And I'm sure they're telling him exactly what we've all talked about and maybe more, frankly, because there's a lot of stuff that we can't bring to the table, quite frankly, that we know, and it's dysfunctional. There's no question about it. And you can see it from the outside, and you can see it, and you hear about it. I mean, it's no trade secret. I mean, you have Rachaad White, who's been your number 1, number 2 running back for 4 years, basically saying, yeah, it's dysfunctional. Todd Bowles should not be the defensive coordinator. He needs to concentrate on being a walk-around head coach. Why would he say that? Because it's dysfunctional inside. Yaya Diaby talking about how lax the practices are, that we need to be better. I'm going to go talk to the coach and tell him we need to practice harder. What? I mean, have you ever heard a player say that? I have, yeah. And they're in, times of complete dysfunction for franchises. You have Jamel Dean, saying the same thing about how complicated the defense is. I mean, Rondé Barber coming out and talking about how complicated and the lack of elite coaching and how the system just doesn't work. The way when you have a complicated system like this and you're constantly moving players in and out, drafting a rookie, you have 2 rookies out there, you have a lot of guys that are coming in and out, and they all have to be so synced up in this defense to not allow wide open holes in the defense. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. At some point, you have to simplify. You look at what's happened with the Lightning. A lot of their success is because they've simplified their game. Mm-hmm. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. But it wasn't the complexity that made the 0-2 Buccaneers defense one of the greatest to ever do it. It was the fact that they perfected it. You see perfection in the scheme of Todd Bowles even after, 7 years of running this defense here? No, it looks more dysfunctional than ever. How is that possible? Because the coaching sucks. These players aren't that bad. And if I'm Jason Light, I'm looking at the roster I put out there, and everybody thinks a lot of them are bad, but maybe they're just not being coached correctly. Maybe they're not being put in situations to get their sacks to the total that it really should be. Maybe they're not making adjustments during the game and sticking to stubborn patterns that everybody knows that you're not changing. That's why you lose 7 of 8. Keep going out there doing what you're doing. And we've heard it on, it was last year, I think, when they played the Ravens. You remember there was mic'd up on the Ravens side, and they're like, oh, they're doing the same thing. They're just keep doing it. And I'm like, yeah, we keep doing it. You're getting sliced up. I mean, at what point do you just not go, no wonder Todd Monken, no. You think Todd Monken wants to come here? So when Mike McDaniel gets here on Friday, what's he going to see? He's going to be interviewing with Todd Bowles, and Todd's going to be asking him questions. Or maybe you know, what's interesting to me is Todd Monken and Mike McDaniel are getting head coaching interviews. Why would they be coming here just for an OC gig? Maybe it's like, okay, the portion of the interview with Todd is over. Come on down to the GM's office where some of the owners are. We'd like to talk to you separately. I don't know that that's happening, but if I were the Bucs, it would happen for me.
As in you go to talk to Todd to be his OC, and then you walk down the hall to talk to Jason about being the head coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now I don't think it would be that blatant, but I would think, listen, if you got him in town, is there not going to be? Listen, I understand Todd Bowles is the head coach. He's not the general manager. He's not the owner. He doesn't make all the decisions. He doesn't have final decisions. So, I mean, if they're not talking to Mike McDaniel and Todd Monken about the head coaching job, what they might do, give me your plan. I know you're interviewing for other head coaching jobs. What's your pitch? I'd like to hear it. For no other reason, just to gather information of what he's doing. And GMs, smart GMs, and I think Jason Light's a very smart GM, they do that all the time.
Yeah. Save information for the future.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
If you were the head coach, how would you do it? What would you change? Why would you not? If you had Todd Monken in your building and you were Jason Light or any of the Glazers, why would you not? Mike McDaniel, hey, what if you were the head coach? What would you do? You just played us. You just prepared for us. What did you see on our defense? What give us some information. What did you see? How would you scout the Buccaneers? What did you see?
Yeah,
why would you not?
Case in point on that, JP, the Dallas Cowboys just interviewed Jonathan Gannon as their DC, right? Former head coach of Arizona. Not widely regarded as a great head coach, right? I feel like he did a pretty good job with what he had in Arizona.
Yeah.
He was there 3 years. He played the Cowboys twice, 23 and last season. Both years the Cowboys had top-notch, top 5 offenses. Both occurrences, the Cardinals won and held Dak and the offense to 15 and 16 points respectively. Right. So what do? You bring Gannon in as your DC to interview for your DC, but you're also gathering information on yourself. You are reverse scouting yourself.
Sure,
like, hey,
you are.
What did you see in our offense that made you successful in defending it? Yep. And you're helping yourself out at the same time. I guarantee you there's some of that going on with these other OCs.
Damn right.
With the defense in Tampa.
Again, if you're not doing that as an organization, Jason Light, if he's not going to sit Mike McDaniel down separately and say, hey, what would you do? Then that's a dereliction of duty. Oh, that's not right, JP. That's underhanded. No, it's not. It's just business. It's business. Why would you go behind Todd Bowles' back like that? No. This is business. This is business. I got no time for your feels. Sorry. No time. No time for that. Are you upset? Oh, well, did we reach out to John Harbaugh? Yeah, we did.
Are you triggered?
I mean, yeah, sorry, Todd. Be better. You don't want us reaching out to Todd Bowles or talking to Mike McDaniel about what he would do as head coach. Be better than a 500 coach. Be better. We aspire to better than 500. That's what as an organization, we do not want to go, yay, hang up the 500 banners. No, I don't think that's where we want to be. I don't think you as a fan base want that. And I know for damn sure the Glazers are not interested in that. Yet they tolerate it.
Yeah.
Over and over. Why? There's a disconnect. There is a complete, nothing is meshing here. Listen, before the season, it was just the opposite. Everything felt like it was perfectly put together. Perfectly put together. What happened, JP? Did we overestimate? Yeah, I think we did. We overestimated the defense. And we said from the very beginning of the season, this is a Todd Bowles season. You got a good roster, a really good roster. Now let's see you go use it. And I say everybody, there's not that many great players on defense. Well, when they're playing half speed because they're thinking too much, they don't believe in the system, which I believe is evident by the comments of the players. And that's, if it's public, if it comes out publicly, can you imagine what's being said behind the scenes? That's tip of the iceberg stuff, guys. We've been doing this for 40 years, and I can tell you when something slips out, there's a whole lot underneath that's been brewing. That is fact.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a big deal. When it finally does creep out, that means it's been bubbling and it's bad. And the Glazers have to know this. Have to. Again, they're not dumb. They're plugged in. They know what's going on. So the question is, why do you tolerate it? And why do you expect it to change? That's the thing. No, we said, look, how Todd manages this team, how he coaches the defense, how the offense responds to Josh Grizzard. These are going to be the key tenets and if they stay healthy, right? The ultimate arbiter of everything in football. And what happened? They were wrecked on the offensive line, completely wrecked. And Baker saved their ass for the first half of the season, and they escaped 6-2. And we got to the midpoint and said, "Woo, we are in good shape." And this is what makes the collapse so spectacular. Everybody saw the schedule. Yeah, they had a tough midpoint there. Go steal one, couldn't do it, but that's okay. You're at 6-2. Now you've got your division games coming up that against the division that is all in rebuilds for the most part, or in chaos, quarterback chaos, whatever.
Yep.
And the Miami Dolphins and the Cardinals. You can't, you don't get, it doesn't get any better than this. You got to engage, Mav. It doesn't get any better than this. That is a wide open one. And you couldn't do it. And you got worse as the season went on, as players came back and became healthy. So I know that a lot of this is repetition, but this is to say, as we, move it forward here with who's going to be the OC, who wants to be the OC and why? If Mike McDaniel comes here to be the OC, he's got bigger plans. Mm-hmm. And now you're setting up a lame duck coach with a perhaps successor of yours. And I'm here to tell you, if that offensive line stays healthy and Mike McDaniel is calling the plays, that's 30 points a game. That's 30 points a game. The way he runs the football, very, Liam Cohen-esque, a lot of eye candy with this offensive line and this group. Come on now. That's going to be 30 points a game. So we'll be sitting here with a number one, top 5 offense, a bottom 5 defense likely. And what's going to happen then? Everybody's going to be screaming for Mike McDaniel to take over.
And the most frustrating part of all of that,
he ain't
JP,
staying, I can tell you that. He'll be getting another, if he doesn't get a head coaching job in this cycle.
The most frustrating part of that, and look, I've dealt with it in Dallas, is your offense is good enough to carry this thing when they're healthy, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it. We saw it early in the year. And you don't need your defense to be a top 5 or top 10 defense in the league. You don't need that out of them. You just need them to not be a bottom 10.
Yeah.
Like
they were in the last part of the season. They were last in everything.
Yes. They just need to be average. And this thing's winning 11, 12 games with that offense.
Right.
That's all you need. And that's the most frustrating part. Is you can't even get that.
So well put. So if Monken's going to the Giants with Harbaugh, and I would say, given the two situations, I would. I don't know. I think there's merit to coming here and increasing your stock with Baker and becoming a head coach, because we've seen that template work out a couple times. Yeah. And by the way, Josh Grizzard's offense was statistically way better than Dave Canales' offense. And he got canned. And Dave got a head coaching job. But he got canned because the head coach was looking for scapegoats. Let's just be honest. Some heads had to roll. Now, they also interviewed so anyway, I'd like to know who you think would be your top pick for offense coordinator. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think Monken will take it because of what's going on here, the dysfunction. But we'll see. He may see it as a conduit to a head coaching job. He may not, like what the situation is in New York. But they're probably going to sell that pretty hard. big money. And he's got
Big market.
consistency with big market with Harbaugh. He knows what he's walking into. I mean, he could come into Tampa and, Bowles could be in his office week 7 and say, we got to run the ball 30 times against the Panthers. And you're like, what? Then you're being judged on something that's not even yours.
Yeah.
Like Josh Grizzard has to go out there and defend, some of those game plans and knowing full well that's not what he wanted to do. Joel Forsman says the problem with 30 points per game plus Todd's defense probably equals 9 and 8 again.
Yeah.
I don't know. 30 points a game is hard to lose. It's hard to lose. But again, the way Todd manages games defensively, even when you get up 2-3 scores or 2 scores, he's putting the defense in conservative mode, which allows the other team to come back, and then you got to keep scoring. That's why we never blow anybody out. Yeah. Rick says Todd wants to run the triple option. Might work in this league the way
How
things are
Baker
going.
would feel about that.
Yeah. And Nathan Elliott says Monken is heading to New York. Put a fork in that turkey. He is done and will be served up to the New York fans and media. Oh, you don't think he'll do well?
Oh, he can handle that. That does not scare him or Harbaugh at all.
No.
And you know what? They've already won over the fans. That potential coaching staff, the combination of Harbaugh and Monken, the New York fans are already in, 100% in.
Mm-hmm.
They can't screw that up.
And remember, folks, the Bucs could have gone after Harbaugh. Well, they did. They kicked the tires. And the notion that he would not work with Jason Light, I've been told, is not true. So basically, it's, people don't want to come here for whatever reason. Rashad White also said he thought it was silly that they fired all these coaches when it would have made more sense to just start fresh, meaning fire Bowles. Players are talking about this like we are. Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah,
like imagine that. It's like, why are you firing? A few of the. Yeah, it's common sense. Yeah, and if the players are saying this publicly, this is why you lose 7 of 8. And this is why you turn on the tape and defensively you see guys that just aren't playing hard. When I asked Bowles about that late in the season, I said, do you really, after the Dolphins game? I mean, you turn on that tape, it's laughable. Go watch Hassan Reddick. Go watch number 5. And you tell me if that guy's playing 100%. There's a lot of guys that are just I saw Levante David getting frustrated out there, and of course he was playing with a bad knee. We find out a really bad knee that he had to get drained every week. He wasn't loafing; he was hurt and frustrated a lot. And in bringing this back makes no sense. What is it? I'd just like to know. Can Mike McDaniel and Baker Mayfield work, says Nathan Elliott? Will they mesh? I wonder. Mayfield plays best in a Ram style of offense. This is what I know about Todd Monken. He's 60 years old and has coached Lamar Jackson, Jameis Winston. He's worked with every different type of quarterback in every different type of offense. And, yeah, I think Baker would thrive in that offense. He would find a way to make it work with those guys. This is when you have experienced guys as a quarterback and a OC, that's good stuff. A lot of you yesterday were kind of pissing me off because you want young, you want new, and we need innovative ideas. You don't think that Todd Monken is watching and listening to every nuance that comes out in NFL football? And by the way, all this new stuff isn't really new. It's just recycled from years past. But he obviously knows exactly what's going on. And by the way, you don't want to be a slave to the new. You want to be a slave to what works. That's what you want to be, because what's new may not be what works best for your quarterback and your personnel. The smart coaches understand it's about production, not who gets the credit, not what it looks like. It's about production. Aviation said they saw what happened with Liam and won't make that same mistake again. I agree. If you think Mike McDaniel is coming here on Friday just to interview for the OC job, I got another bridge to sell you.
And Todd Bowles may very well believe that. He may be the only one that thinks that.
I don't think if there's one thing Todd is, it's smart. He's a really smart cat. He's stubborn as hell, but he's smart. He's no dummy. I mean, you can correct me, Timmy, but I'm in a situation like this where you have a guy that's been a head coach and taken his team to the playoffs a couple times. You know, mastermind the number one offense in the league, over 400 yards with Tua.
With Tua, by the way, we should stress. With Tua did that.
And a rushing game that was with Achane, Mostert, fantastic, right? Explosive. When have you seen guys like that interviewing for head coaching jobs and then, but I'm going to go interview for the OC job over here? Does that seem weird?
Usually it's a combined interview.
Yeah, but I don't know if I've ever seen, lower level coaches. Oh, like Shieldhouse, okay, who's never been a head coach, right? Oh, he might get a look for a head coach. People, let's kick the tires on this guy. But they're not going to hire him as a head coach. Maybe they will. Hell, Liam got the job, right?
Or to me, guys who have worn out their welcome as a head coach may approach it that way. Like, I don't know, Raheem Morris. I don't know who's interviewing him for a head coaching job again. I know he's getting looks. I don't know why.
I think Cleveland did. Cleveland's
going to Cleveland.
Well, you know why. I mean.
Well, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But hey, do you know who else fulfills that requirement of a minority interview?
We're talking about,
Mike McDaniel is considered an African-American coach in this league. Do you know that?
Yeah, I did. That's just true.
He is a Rooney Rule interview for whoever interviews him.
How does that work? He's the whitest guy. He's the whitest coach in football.
And I think when I looked it up, when I found this out, I think his grandfather was black.
Yeah. It's just silly. The whole thing's just silly.
It's very silly, but yeah.
Just silly. Here's another one from Steven Soper. Rondé Barber said all our corners are making the same mistakes, not just one guy, and that is coaching. Yeah. Rondé is not a big fan of this, and he works for the Bucs, and he works, the Glazers. One of the Glazers' most trusted confidants. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like OCD logic. Like the dots gotta connect. They gotta line up. And if they don't, something's up.
Something's wrong.
Something is up. You feel me, guys? Like, it's just how? It just, all these things just don't add up. Like, and I'll tell you where in a very public example of this, where I saw this. That was with the St. Pete deal with the Rays. When you finally got into all the details, you were like, this is not happening. There is no way Stu Sternberg is going to put $700-800 million of his own dollars, even if those dollars are gifted to him in real estate. And he's not going to do it. He never has. He never will. There's something else going on here. And when you got into the details, I said, let's wait to see the details of the contract. Oh, and here it is. You can get the land without building the stadium. Aha! That's what he's up to. And in the end, essentially, that was what found out. Y'all can think it was the hurricane, and of course that had something to do with it. He was never going to build that stadium. The dots didn't line up. They didn't connect. A guy that wouldn't spend $1 of his own money on a stadium is suddenly going to fork out $800 million. Not happening. Yeah, not happening. And there were a lot of other things that went along with it as well. This is the same thing. How can so many people inside, outside the organization all see this dysfunction and what's happening? And with a long track record of mediocrity, frankly, with Todd, and in a situation where everybody's making changes in this league, in this situation, you're standing pat. It doesn't make sense. Now, some people have said it's money. They can't afford it. And I kind of pushed back on that, and all the information I have but that would make sense. At least that would make sense. We can't afford to fire him.
That would give us a reason. Yeah, it would give us a reason. I mean,
okay, well, that sucks. And it shouldn't be that way, especially with the Glazers, with the amount of money they have, of all people.
Yeah.
There's no way people say, they're already fired these soccer coaches. They're firing them because they have tons of money and they can do it.
Yeah.
And they can do it here too. That's why they're firing people, because they have the money and they want to win. They may not be going about it the right way or the way you think they should, but I just don't think money is the object, but at least that would explain it. Why is Mike Norvell still at Florida State? Because of the money. It explains. At least I can go, okay, I understand it. I think it's stupid and I hate it and it sucks, but I can at least connect the dots. And it gives me, for some reason, it just gives me some, all right, at least I know. It's not, something else that's just completely weird. So.
And the whole timeline of all of this to me is baffling, because we still have not heard. The season ended the last game was on the 3rd. The season ended the next day. Grizzard was fired on the 8th. Defensive coaches were fired the same day and days after that. And we're way farther we're a week beyond all of that. And we still have not heard from the general manager
or the owners.
Not
that the owners normally do anything. So they can kind of, say we're not doing it. We never do. But to me, in a situation like this where your entire fan base is up in arms, you need to at least give I know it's lame, but at least put out the old statement of support and
vote of confidence, JP.
And of course that's been discussed in the halls there. Of course hey, should we put out a statement about Todd? No. Why not? Why not? I want to know, because
let's just send a text to Rick. That'll fix it. We'll just send a text to Rick.
Todd, you can text Rick and say, I'm coming back.
Says who? Like, that would be the first thing if I was Rick, I would have said, like, who told you that?
Well, I'm sure he said the Glazers said he was coming back, and he can go ahead and, fire all these scapegoats, coaches. I mean, yeah, that's the weird part.
But anytime there's a mass firing on a coaching staff, and this is a mass firing, it's just in the wrong spots.
Right.
The GM is typically vocal about that and gives some explanation and here we are now 2 weeks from the end of the season, and your coach or your GM still hasn't done. I don't know if Light does this. I see this with other teams. Of course, Jerry does it every day because he's in front of the camera every day, but kind of like a state of the team after the year, right? Like, where are we headed this season, this postseason or this offseason, and what our goals are and what went wrong last year and how we're going to fix it. Like that, everybody does that.
Meets McGee with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Meets McGee. Says that's how we won the first Super Bowl with Gruden. We had to run a simplified offense. Hell, Bowles ran a simplified defense for the Super Bowl wins. Yeah, they did, because he saw it worked, and he kind of went away from what he normally does, and it worked. Put all the, the bells and whistles aside and said, my guys are better than your guys. Go get them. And I think that's where there's a lot of frustration. Guys just want to play. Like, trust me, we don't need to gimmick up all this shit where you're dropping defensive ends and nose tackles and all this other crap. And I know other teams do it, but not to the level that the Bucs do it. You're too predictable, and it just and it's weird. It's just there's a fine line between genius and weird, right? There's a very fine line. And it's genius if it works, and it's weird if it doesn't. So there you go. It's genius when you shut down. And let's remember this, folks. It wasn't just Todd Bowles' brilliant plan that shut down the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't have any offensive linemen left. Let's not forget that. Let's not do revisionist history here. The Bucs were licking their chops. They had 2 offensive tackles that were terrible, and they got after them because they had great players. I'm not saying that, Todd didn't come up with a great plan and execute it. He did. But that was a very talented defense. Well, then you could say, well, then it's Jason Light's fault. Yeah. That was a defense that was really good and at the top of its game. We're not asking for this defense to go out there and shut down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to no touchdowns. We don't expect that because no way. But to Tim's point, at least be 16 in the league. And I know there's some numbers that have them in the low 20s, but to me, it's what happened in the last half of the season when you were 30th, last in red zone defense, last in pass defense, 31st in it. They were 30th or 29th or 30th, 31, 32 in almost every major category in the last half of the season after the bye, with only one significant injury, Kalijah Kancey. You got to be better than that. Yeah. So, and how did the Glazers win that Super Bowl? They got rid of a very popular coach who had taken them to the playoffs and won a hell of a lot more than Todd Bowles did. Listen, I can tell you there weren't guys talking about Tony's defense to the press and how it was run. Now, the offense, maybe. I think Sapp would take some shots. Sure. But that was he couldn't fix the offense. And the Glazers finally said, okay, listen, we love you, Tony, more than anything. I mean, they love Tony. They loved Tony. But Malcolm said, this is business. This is business. It's not about feels. It's not about how much I love you. It's just you haven't been able to show us that you can get the offense right, so we got to make a change.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. And he wasn't even in charge of the offense. I mean, in terms of the coordinator, he was the defensive coordinator. He was doing great with that. And then Todd, your side of the ball is the one that's the problem. And we still, no sense. All right, let's take a break. Come back. We're going to get into your comments. We're going to get into some college football stuff here as well. By the way, Jim Williams, 7-time Emmy Award-winning producer for ESPN for many years now. He writes a really interesting media column now, and he penned an incredible article on the Rays TV network and what they can do and what they should do. So he's going to join us at 11:30. And why this is important, folks, first of all, you want to be able to see your Rays. And second of all, it's a huge moneymaker. It's a huge moneymaker. And if they do it right, it's going to be a really, really big asset to this team because of the media markets that they control. So he's going to join us at 11:30 for that. Your comments, college football, all that coming up. We're brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. They're giving away a gas card for a year. If you just come in and take a test drive, they'll 10x your entries for the gas card up to $2,500 in gas. So that's pretty cool. Plus, you get to ride around in these really, really nice, luxurious vehicles, smell the rich Corinthian leather. And really, the GV70, the GV80, the coupes are just the sedan, fantastic. And the price will blow you away. And the deals they are making are fantastic. So it's a great local company, Genesis of Tampa, part of the Murphy Auto Group. Go say hello to them. Tell them JP sent you. And have some fun. This weekend, just go test drive one of them cars. Get your entry in there. All right, your comments when we come back. Stay with us. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? we've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond, from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Alberton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's the love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, we got a lot of interesting comments in the comments section. That's why we love doing this, guys, and we build our show a lot around you guys because, we don't take phone calls, but we like your input through the comments, and we got a really smart group. And
There's no us without you, Petermans.
You can't spell us without you.
True story.
That's true. Oh, I love those little quips. Fantastic. By the way, we got something to share with you guys today. Old school Bobby Bound. In fact, we're going to get to it right here in a second. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Hey, if you started a business during COVID or any time, or you have a business, a lot of you don't have business insurance. You got to get that because otherwise, if you're sued, they can attack your personal wealth. You don't want that. ItalianoInsurance.com will help you out with that. Plus your flood insurance. And a lot of these carriers now are being forced to lower their rates in Florida and auto insurance, homeowners insurance, a lot of it. So if you're just paying the same rate that you've always paid and they tick it up like a few dollars every year, let's do the whole insurance checkup thing right now. Let them do the dozens of companies that they represent, and they represent companies that will pay out, by the way. They don't represent companies that have been giving folks a hard time paying out. So Italiano Insurance can do a lot for you. They can get you with the right company, save you money, and give you peace of mind. That's what it's all about with insurance, right? So 813-877-7799, and humans answer the phone. Yay. Italiano Insurance. Love them. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, unlike us, they answer the phone.
That's right. That's right. We say, shut up, send us a text, but they will actually answer the phone. Pointing out our hypocrisy is one of your lovely gifts, Timmy.
JP, you're going to go throwback here with your letter that we have it on the screen here when you're ready. But I found a throwback of something we keep mentioning that I went and found during the break that I've got loaded up here whenever you want to do it. It's from about the same time frame, too.
All right. Let's do a couple comments first, since I'm lauding you folks. Michael LaRue says the Glazers just sold 25% of Man United, so they've got cash on hand. That works out to, I think, $1.7 billion, by the way. If the Bucs don't roll over the $9 million in cap space from this year into next year, like the CBA allows, that will tell you this is really about money. This is an excellent point, Michael. And I was thinking the same thing because, again, teams can, it's the NFL is kind of a soft cap. You can manipulate it the way you want. If you want to roll over and you can go over and then you got it. I think it's a 5-year average that you have to be around the cap. There's lots of ways to manipulate it. So if you want to spend a lot of money like the Bucs did during the Brady years, then you can do that. They didn't do that last year, and we'll see if they do it this year. And that will tell you something. 100%. This is why we do your comments, because you people are freaking smart. Some of you people. Then there are others.
Oh boy.
Alejandro Noriega says, our defense hasn't recovered since losing key guys on that 2020 defense. We lost Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, JPP, and other key contributors. So losing key guys like this is what our defense hasn't recovered. This is a great point. And we talked a little bit about this earlier. Personnel versus coaching, right? And when you're at your best, which the Bucs were in that Super Bowl, you're getting good coaching who's using the personnel correctly. Now, if you look at the personnel on that team and compare it with this one, absolutely. We don't have a JPP. We don't have an Ndamukong Suh. Kalijah Kancey's really good. He's a totally different player, but we didn't even have him, right? Shaq Barrett, we don't have a Shaq Barrett. Hassan Reddick was supposed to be that. He's a huge flop. Huge flop. But one of the reasons Hassan was a huge flop was because he wasn't playing to his potential. You couldn't get that guy to play to his potential. He was dogging it. And if you're going to dog it, you got to get him off the field. You got to embarrass him to where, listen, you think you're getting another contract? No, because we're going to sit your ass down and tell the world that you won't play. But did that conversation take place? I don't know, because the production never came. The effort never came. That's coaching. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it.
Yeah.
So again, yes, this does not, do we need an upgrade in personnel on that front seven? Hell yeah. But it can't be, what you had this year can't be dead last. We're in the bottom fifth of the league. When it really counted. Yeah.
Just be average.
Yeah. Lonnie Wilkins says, JP, how was Joe Madden? Great. Oh, last night, Tampa Sports Club. We have Carrollwood last night, Carrollwood Country Club. Thanks to those folks for hosting us. But Joe Madden and Andy Freed did about an hour and a half talk, and it felt like 5 minutes. Man, listening to Joe Madden talk baseball is just, and he told us he's coming in studio when he gets back from Chicago. They're having a reunion of their World Series team this week. So he's going to come sit down with us for a couple hours in studio. Man, I mean,
you're not taking priority over his World Series team reunion? That seems like
I'm just like, I get goosebumps. Like, he's coming in here and back 2 hours. Thank God. Yeah. It's just, he's such a smart guy. You ever just want to listen to people talk because they're just so effing smart?
Kind of like this show.
Yeah, I don't know. Some days. But we hope you feel that way. But it's just, God, there's a nonstop. It's nonstop. He goes from one story to another, and just he has just this incredible way of communicating and making it super interesting and understandable. Where you just one thing. Sometimes you hear smart people talking like halfway through. Halfway, about 3 minutes into it, it's like I know this is really smart, and I was following it for a while. It's like when they have the ball thing with the little cups. You're trying to follow it around. You never get lost with Joe.
No.
You never get lost with Joe because he's just so good at communicating that. And we were recounting, why he turned around that dreadful team and got them to the World Series in 2 years' time. And some of the things that went into that, just 9 versus, 8 equals 9 or 9 equals 8. I think it was 9 equals 8. And what that meant and how it affected the team, how he would have American Legion week, because when you played Legion ball in the summer, everybody had jobs and stuff, and then you'd show up at, 5, 6 o'clock for the game. You wouldn't have time for batting practice or anything. You just play ball. So he would want guys, to come. He would lock the clubhouse out and say, you can't come till 5 o'clock. Go to lunch with your family, go to the beach, get away from it, but I want you to show up and play ball. And he said, I don't have the numbers on that, but I would say 70% of the time we won those games.
Yeah.
And he feels like guys completely over-prepare. They show, there's guys that show up at noon for 7 o'clock games. He's like, by the time you get to 7 o'clock, you're exhausted mentally and physically. You're just like, what are you doing for 7 hours before the game for baseball to get ready? I mean, it's great. It's, you want players to be diligent. And you want them to take their craft very seriously, but you also want them rested and ready to play.
Fresh.
Yeah. So there's always, but he feels like guys are just way over prepping these days because it looks good. First one in, last one to leave. You always want to be that guy. Do you? And what, sometimes I think a lot of people do that because they're hiding other things, deficiencies. And there's something to be said about, Kurt Signetti. Those guys are out of the building by 6 o'clock. They're not there till midnight. And they practice for, some days their practices are 30, 45 minutes, but they're intense and, they get production and you don't see them making mistakes, do you? Nope. So yeah, Joe he was fantastic. He's so good and he loves this area. And, I didn't ask him specifically. I didn't have a lot of time to talk about, specific things, but I don't know if the Rays have reached out to him to be, part of the organization. I think they should. In whatever way. I mean, I know they hired Brandon Hyde to be the former Orioles manager, to be some type of consultant. He basically doesn't know what he's doing, but it's a great baseball mind to have in your organization. And I think Joe would be very much the same. But he's still very much a different cat. And he believes in analytics. I mean, he was the first one to bring a computer into a clubhouse. But he also feels we've gone way over the top. As far as he goes, that's why, guys can manage these days and they can pluck them off, wherever they're getting, like the guy that was working for the Rays here. I forget his name, who's the Nationals manager now. It's just like they haven't put in their time, and he's not specifically talking about that person, but you got to put in 10,000 hours of managing. He's like, look, if you're going to manage you need to manage 2 years of rookie ball. And go, see what that's all about and learn all these things. But now that you have universal DH, you don't have all those double switches that you used to have where managers really had to think through it. He said he would manage the game before the game, during the game, and after the game. And try to think of every permutation that he might face before the game, looking at the lineups and the matchups, and then have that decision already made. Like he brought up the Josh Hamilton when he walked Josh Hamilton with the bases loaded in a 3-1 game. And, he said, I didn't flinch because I had already thought it through. Says, I'm no way I'm going to let that guy beat me. And that was when Josh was on a heater. He was hitting a home run every day. He's like, I'm not going to let that guy beat me. And of course they walk him, bring in Wheeler, and he gets a pop up to end the game and the Rays win. But he said, listen, was I afraid to make that because I was afraid of what people might say? No. I thought it through. I looked at this situation. I said, that's what I'm going to do. So when it presented itself, there wasn't, a large thought process involved. I'd already thought it through. And I was confident in making my decision. And I went out there and did it. And, that was it. And it worked. And he said, if it didn't work, fine. I'd already thought it through and I was okay with the ramifications. If you're scared, attention Glazers, if you're scared to make a decision because you're afraid of what other people might say, that's not leadership. That is the opposite of leadership.
Yeah.
Frankly. Fortune favors the bold is another one of Joe's favorite euphemisms. Fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, in this business, JP, we come across guys in Madden's position, and managers and coaches who can, what we would describe as holding a room, right? Like in a crowded room, they can hold it. And then we come across guys who can downright command a room.
Yep.
And I feel Madden's in that category where you don't just have guys paying attention. You've got guys on the edge of their seats listening at every word.
That's a great point. And that's what and you know what, when he walks in the room, he's kind of a dichotomy in that he is the most average, nicest, down-to-earth dude you will ever meet in your life. But he has an aura of riz, as the kids say. He's got that. He walks into a room, he commands it. It's like, hey, that's Joe effing Madden. And everybody wants to say hi. Yeah. And he will look you right in the eyes and make you feel, the guys talk to you, they look at it, like, okay, I'm here at a public event and I'm just nodding my head and I'm, He was like, he listens to what you say and he reacts to what you say. And that's rare for someone of his stature. And it's fabulous to watch. And, I just sat there and watched him, how he handled the crowd and talked to people and took pictures. And you can learn a lot from people like that. And I don't care what business you're in. If I had a chance to hire Joe Madden, I would hire him because he would make whatever endeavor you're doing 10 times better. So I would hope that the Rays would want to reach out to him in some way. And there's a whole diatribe I can go on what he talks about managing today and what is required and what used to be required. So he said, I'll do one more thing on Joe. He said, I don't think we're far away from managers wearing headsets like football coaches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where there's analytics guys upstairs in his ear.
How crazy is that?
Why hire a manager? Yeah. Put a robot out there, Send the players a text. You're up next. Have your phone. We'll all have PitchCom. You're up next.
Text the bullpen. Hey, get this guy up.
Right? Who needs a manager? Yee 1337. Don't know what your name is. Please tell us no. I don't want to call you that.
Maybe it's Yee.
Yee. Okay, Yee. Rashad rubbed me the wrong way talking about the fans. Like, bro, you guys have been mediocre for 4 years. Tampa is a travel destination and tickets are ridiculously priced to see Todd Bowles lose. You have a point. No question. No question about that. But I'm kind of with Rashad on this. If your players are looking up and seeing all the fans of the other team and they're louder than you are in your home stadium, that sucks.
It's a bit frustrating.
That sucks. And when I told you the last couple of years that the players are noticing it and they don't like it, I wasn't wrong. And if they're thinking about it on the sideline, that's bad.
It's taken away from the game.
That should be the opposite. Home field advantage. They should be jacked up by what's going on in your own stadium. Look around the other stadiums. That ain't what's going on here. And again, I ain't telling anybody how to spend their money. I can't look you in the eyes. And the Glazers have responsibility here, 100%. They have 100%. And this is why when you do this, there are consequences. And do I want to yell at the fans for this? A little bit. I think you guys need to be better. But I can't tell you, especially in this economy, how we can, that was ruined years ago, how we can spend $2,000-$3,000 to sit in the rain and watch that product and lose to the Saints. I can't tell you, you got to be doing that every week. I can't do it. This is where the Glazers bear responsibility. If you're going to keep Todd Bowles, then you're doing this to your team. Your team is pissed because there's other fans in the stadium and lots of them. And you're responsible for this. If you don't react to where, I'm not saying you have to do everything the fan base wants you to do. This is an overwhelming situation here. And not only that, you're not coming out and addressing it transparently with the fans. I don't think that's right. I think you need to address it. I love the Glazers. I think they're great owners. But if I could advise them in any way, I'd say you need to be more transparent about this. If there's a reason why you want Todd Bowles around, you better come out and tell your fan base what it is. Because we don't get it. It doesn't make sense to the people in the media, and it's not floating with your fan base and your sponsors and your suite holders. I've talked to tons of them, and they've probably talked to you. I know they have. And they're not pleased. And I understand in sports that these things happen, but there are ways to address them. And I think one of the ways is to be more transparent about that. If you love Todd Bowles this much and you feel like he's the man, let's have a press conference and tell us why. It's football, man. It's entertainment. This is not nuclear war here. Come out, face the media. Let's have a conversation. Because if there's other reasons that we don't know about, let us know. And then, that will help things with the fan base. It'll help things with the players. It'll help the whole situation. Now it's just a whole lot of what the hell are we doing? And that's not a good place to be. Bantry says the Senior Bowl is coming up in 2 weeks. This will be the fourth year Light and Bowles miss it as they search for a new OC. Might be nice to see and meet potential draft choices, just saying. Is that true? I don't know that to be totally true, Bantry, but I trust you.
They're missing it?
They've obviously they've been doing these OC searches, but I'm not sure if they were not going to the Senior Bowl because of that. You may be, it sounds right, but I don't want to say that factually. I don't know it to be factual, but I trust you. And they have been, the point being, they've been distracted by this. Yeah, listen, when you have a defensive coach, this is your life that you live. Constant. Baker will now have 9 OCs in 9 seasons. Night Train 73, first time I've seen you in here. Welcome. How many scouts have we lost since 2020? Maybe Light got too much credit for that roster. Just spitballing here. I don't know the answer to that. I think that the group has been really stable until recently when Spy Tech and forgetting the other name that has recently left. So, yeah. Joel Forsman says, we need better coaches. Quit blaming the roster. All I know is whoever lines up in a San Francisco 49ers uniform gets it done. Kyle Shanahan is killing these other coaches when they start talking about injuries. Oh. Happy birthday, Cody Mock, number 69. Happy birthday, Cody. Big Red, we need you back, bro. We need you back big time. What else we got here? All right, let's get to this. You want to pop up the Bobby Bowden letter?
Yeah.
So this has kind of been circulating in social media and some of our FSU groups. This is a letter, a typed letter sent out by Bobby Bowden in 1977 to all of his incoming players. This is back pre-internet, boys, right? And this is how they communicated with their players. They sent them letters in the mail.
What is that?
Letters in the mail.
Why didn't they just text them, JP?
I don't know. So I'll read it for you. It says, this is dated August 3rd, 1977. I think this is Bobby's first or second year. And he says, Dear Seminole, report in top physical condition when you come in on August 19th. We do not have time to wait for anyone to get in shape. We depart for Southern Mississippi 3 weeks after you report, and I'm looking for the 50 toughest men to go with me. My favorite line in the whole thing. Fat people will be left behind in their tracks. That's right. Let me say that again. Fat people will be left behind in their journey.
I'm out.
Oh, my God. Kicking, conditioning, and execution will win the opener. The only thing you must do is be in better condition than your opponent, no matter how good he is, in all caps. Have your hair cut before you report. No beards, no mustache below your upper lip.
Wow.
Sideburns, no lower than your earlobes. No hair sticking out in front of your helmet or flaring out the back rim of your helmet. I would be out. My long flowing blonde hair would be something of the past. Keep afros normal or braid it. Bring a coat and tie and dress shirt with you for trips. We will dress like men, not children. Be sure to have your head screwed on right when you get here. I should have done this whole thing in my Bobby Bowden. What was I thinking?
Oh, you could have, yeah.
We will work toward one common goal when you report, and this is to get the best 50 men ready to get after Southern Mississippi. If you do not make the top 50, be disciplined enough to make us a better team through hustle and good morale. We need everybody. Leave all pets at home. I do not want them in our housing. See you August 19th. Sincerely, Bobby Bowden, head football coach.
JP, would you like to know how that game? Would you like to know how that game went?
What's that?
Would you like to know how that game went?
Yeah.
Southern Miss.
Yeah.
September 10th at Roberts Stadium in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Florida State absolutely blows out Southern Miss 35-6.
Really? That's because all the fat people were left behind.
Because the fat people were still in Tallahassee.
Is that outstanding?
It's amazeballs.
Oh, and look at where we've come. Look at where we've come today. Now we communicate with our players through social media. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Nate Nelly said, is that Bobby Bowden or Buford T. Justice? Do not denigrate my Bobby Bowden. That is spot on.
By the way, the Seminoles went 10-2 that year.
Right.
And beat Texas Tech in the Tangerine Bowl.
Tangerine Bowl. That's
40-17.
Right. In Orlando, the old Tangerine Bowl.
Yep.
Stadiums hasn't changed a bit, by the way, since 1970. That's where the Jaguars are going to play. How crazy is that? They're putting like $400 million into that Camping World dump. Talk about lipstick on a pig.
So Florida State was an independent that year, obviously, still in 77.
Yeah.
The overall standings for independents that year, Florida State finished 7th. They finished number 14 in the polls at 10-2. Ahead of them, JP, my North Texas State Mean Green.
Wow.
Finished ahead of now the University of North Texas. Back then they were NTSU. Finished 10-1. They were 4th in the independents. Colgate ahead of North Texas, and then number 5 Penn State and number 1 Notre Dame.
That's right. Penn State was independent for a long time, man.
Topped off your independence in 77. So there you go.
And that's after FSU went 0-11 in 76, was it? Because I think he was hired after the 76 season. I think was this
5-6 is what I'm showing for.
Okay, so that was Bobby's first year.
That was his first season. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So yeah,
in 75 they were 3-8.
There was a picture circulating. I think I retweeted it too of Bobby interviewing Ron Simmons back in the day, and Ron Simmons is in his just like cut off gold pants, and his just shirt is off, and it's just like this chiseled. God, I mean, first time I went up to Florida State, we went into the weight room. This was like 1979, 1980. And he was in there putting up 500. Never seen that before in my life. And that bar was like, I mean, it was at a 45-degree angle. And he's putting up 500 pounds. I'm like, holy crap. That guy, he was the first really big-time recruit for Bobby. that was kind of a nationally known. And I think he got a knee injury, but he was and he says in the interview, 6'1", Ron Simmons, 6'1", 238. He played nose tackle at 6'1", 238 and dominated. Imagine that, 238 pounds, and you're putting up 550 pounds on the bench. And that's non-steroidal, by the way. Yeah, he was a strong man. Gio Provenzano says, interesting how 90% of the other team's fans are in the lower bowl east side. Are you sure the Glazers themselves aren't selling these blocks of seats to ticket brokers? That's not my understanding. My understanding is that now ticket brokers are allowed to buy those seats. And I'm sure there are a lot of ticket brokers that have purchased those seats, through the Buccaneers. Now, but Brian Ford, the CEO, they do a great job of tracking how many tickets you sell per year. And if you sell more than 2 or 3 games, you get suspended because they track that all through Ticketmaster. So that the Bucs are doing everything they can to eliminate that, but it's, if it's impossible really to do. So, and there's other ways of, selling your tickets that don't go through Ticketmaster. I think that there are still ways of transferring your tickets to people and doing deals that aren't on the Ticketmaster marketplace.
JP, you remember selling your tickets by meeting some dude in a sketchy, dimly lit parking lot in the middle of the night and grabbing a couple $100 cash and then giving him your tickets you had in your hand? Yeah, we don't really do that anymore.
I've done some deals in my day.
Oh yeah,
like some $50,000 cash.
Yeah.
Just kidding, IRS. This is for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. I don't like having that much cash. What's the most cash you've ever had in your possession?
The most cash I've ever had in my possession was $60,123. Cash.
I used to work valet lots in Fort Lauderdale, and my boss would keep the cash in a dresser at his house.
Oh, jeez.
With about 3 really big Rottweilers around, and maybe a few guns. Yeah. But so as managers, we would come back to the house and we would bring the cash and we would put it into the safe.
Yeah.
The dresser. And there was it was 2 big dresser, 2 sides, deep like this. And I guess my boss was out of town for a couple of weeks, so he hadn't gone to do the deposit. So he's like, yeah, you're managing the lots for the weekend, and you can stay at the house and have them there. So by the end of that week, there was probably almost $200,000 in cash that I was responsible for. I was like, I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. Wow. I don't think I'm going to sleep. That's not something I want. No. And you know what? And I couldn't take my eyes off it. I was just like, look at that. And most of it was, 20s and hundreds.
Yeah. Did you make it rain?
I might have done that.
Or did you wait till you got to the titty bar to make it rain?
I might have done that. I'm a very trustworthy man, though, as you know.
What happened?
All right, let's take another break. We'll come back and do some more of your questions. We'll get into a little portal news as well. Things are not going well at Florida State, in case you didn't know. But they're going well at other places. The USF is killing it in the portal, by the way. Doing really, really well. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
As expected.
Yeah. Brian Hartline doing a great job. The Gold and Diamond Source is where you need to go to get that wonderful, one-of-a-kind gift. They have the Emily collection by the way. Emily Weintraub has this beautiful, very affordable gold diamond collection that she designed. It's really unique. You won't find it any other places. So if you're looking for a unique piece, that's the Gold and Diamond Source specialty. They have a lot of those things you will not find anywhere else. They also have 0% interest for 5 years. If you're going to get a diamond, you can get a $5,000 diamond for $84 a month. They have real diamonds there. And if you're looking for a real diamond, which you should be, you're wherever you go, especially if you're going to buy it on the internet, dudes, like, why would you buy a diamond on the internet? That's insane. You don't know what you're getting. And even when you get it, oh, this looks beautiful. You have no idea if it's real or not. So go to a reputable dealer that's been in business for over 40 years, and that's the Golden Diamond Source. Julie and Steve Weintraub, great benefactors here locally, very philanthropic, great company, but they give you the best prices and the best selection. So many reasons to go to the Golden Diamond Source. Don't forget, gold is an all-time high, and it's going through the roof. So go take that old gold jewelry, take it in, get cash for your old gold jewelry, buy something new there. They'll give you a little bonus. Great place to spend the day. Gold and Diamond Source right there, 3800 Overton Road in Clearwater, not too far from Tampa, 15, 20 minutes over the bridge, and boom, yeah, that. Gold and Diamond Source, back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Overton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey folks, Rays baseball and the summer heat will be here before you know it. So don't let your AC unit strike out and cost you hundreds or thousands for an emergency repair. Get a 1-year maintenance plan from Third Generation Plumbing and AC for just $169. Though will come out twice a year and service your unit. Clean the drain line, make sure it's running to peak efficiency. If you need an emergency repair, it's going to cost you hundreds, if not thousands more. It's a no-brainer, guys. Just call the great friendly folks at Third Generation. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling to ensure you have the most efficient and durable units. Their split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. So choose my guys, John Rodriguez and PJ at Third Generation, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. Don't wait for the emergency that'll cost you thousands. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on this Thursday. Lightning back in action tomorrow at St. Louis, going for 12 in a row. 12 in a row. How about that? Hey, by the way, if you are an AC tech or a plumbing tech, you have a job waiting for you at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. If you're good and honest, and you will work hard.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yes. If you're a knucklehead, get out of here. But if you're thirdgenerationplumbing.com, if you want to work for a great locally owned company, family owned company, with John Rodriguez and PJ over there, go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Great pay. They give you all the holidays off. They have benefit packages as well. Great place to work. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They're also having a maintenance special. $169 gets you 2 visits where they come make sure everything's working, your unit is in good working condition, and they'll drain the line and make all that happen for you. If you have to call for an emergency drain line, any of that, that's going to cost you $200, $300, $400, $500, right? So do it now. Get the special. Have them come out, schedule it up, and they'll make sure that your unit is in top shape as it a hot summer gets headed this way. All right, we got Jim Williams coming up here in just a little bit. Want to get to a couple more comments here. There was something you wanted to bring to the table, Timmy, right? You have a little nostalgia for us?
Yeah, just a little bit of nostalgia if you want it. If you want it now, we can do it now.
Let's do it now.
Let's get me back on. Here we go. So, JP, you and I don't know when it was, a few days ago, a few shows ago, we were talking about Ricardo Montalban and the fine Corinthians.
Yes.
I went back, and that was a series of commercials that he did for Chrysler back in the late 70s or on through the mid, I think even into the late 80s for the Chrysler Cordoba. I went and found the very first Chrysler Cordoba Ricardo Montalban commercial when he mentioned that. And I thought it would be funny and nostalgic to watch. It is the 1975 Chrysler Cordoba, in which he describes the car as the new smaller Chrysler. Because, they were going with the gas crisis and trying to go smaller, more fuel-efficient cars, Ralph Nader and all that crap in the 70s. So this is what Chrysler rolled out with Ricardo Montalban.
Oh, yes.
Pride, very cornerstone of a new automobile. Cordoba.
Look at that beauty.
The new small Chrysler. Here is the warmth of thickly cushioned contour seats, available even in fine Corinthian leather. So very luxurious, yet surprisingly affordable. Cordoba is engineered with great pride. Be a Chrysler.
Yeah. Well, remember, Chrysler had their reputation for building cars was crap.
Oh, in the 70s, it was horrible. Or the 80s, it was horrible. Lee Iacocca saved Chrysler in the 80s. Right.
So that was a big selling point that they, finally built. That's great stuff. A handsome lad, right? That was
good car, though, man. God, it was the small Chrysler.
Yeah, there's a little opera window of it. By the way, I had one.
Did you have a Cordoba?
I had a Chrysler Cordoba. Yeah, for about 6 months. And
wow.
Yeah, we loaded it up. It was like my sophomore year. I'm heading up to Florida State, and it was my friend of my mom's had this car for a long time. He, one of those guys meticulously took care of it, And he's like, I'm selling my car, and I'll sell it to you for $600. And it was a really, it was probably worth double that. So he sold it to me, and I was like, wow, I got a Chrysler. It wasn't a kid, it wasn't a college kid car, but whatever. It was nice. It was an upgrade over the shit box I had. So me and my roommate Ralph Counts, man, we loaded that thing down, and the back was kind of, I think it might have been bouncing on the tire a little bit. So we got about halfway up the turnpike, and we had a blowout at 80 miles an hour.
God.
And that thing, that back tire exploded.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember riding on the rim, sparks are coming off, and I'm trying, and it was like, everybody's going back north. It was crowded on the turnpike.
Wow.
And that thing fishtailed like 4 or 5 times. And then we hit it. Hit it into the guardrail. We went left, and thank God there was a guardrail, because if there's no guardrail there, I'm going through, up, and into the oncoming traffic, and it's over, baby. Man. So we hit the guardrail, and I think we had come to our speed had slowed a little bit. My buddy wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and he hit the front windshield, and he had his hat on, and it hit like right there, kind of saved him.
Yeah.
But that thing was built. It was built. I didn't get a scratch on me, and we walked away from that one. But the car was pretty much totaled. Like Chrysler Cordoba was totaled, but it's fine Corinthian leather.
Love it.
It was terrible.
Tim's here if you're ready for him.
Yeah, but we survived. Yep, let's do it. Let's welcome in our good friend Jim Williams, 7-time Emmy Award winner, and he penned a great article on the Rays' new possible television network. Jim, how are you, my friend?
Excuse me, I'm well. The flashback of the Cordoba.
Yes, how about that, huh?
That was good. My father was the regional sports network. Was the regional marketing director for Ford, and and basically, I grew up in Lutz, went to Chamberlain High School, graduated from USF, the Harvard of Hillsborough County, and anyway, he worked with Iacocca, and those were the days, man. Those basically, they used to call them land yachts.
Yeah.
And so you had a land yacht, and I had an ambassador, American Motors ambassador, when I went to school. That couldn't have been an
AMC ambassador.
Oh, the grandma.
Oh, my Lord.
Pacer.
We're talking about the Pacer. My God, we're discussing.
Yeah. God, that was awful.
Garbage that was. But anyway, yeah, it's I brought back memories. By the way, he was on Fantasy Island.
Island with
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Yep.
All right, boss. Here comes the plane. Here comes the.
So everything, he could read the phone book and it would sound good. I don't know.
Oh man,
That voice.
He was a good spokesman. Well, Jim. So
Yes,
you sent me your article, kind of outlining. And for those of you who don't know, Jim is a 7-time Emmy Award winning producer, director, TV executive. A contributor to Forbes and Newsweek, CEO of LJC Media. You've been around for a long time. You built these regional sports networks that basically came apart in the last 10 years with cable cutting and everything else. So it's a brave new world out there.
It is.
And I want to set this up for Rays fans to know that this is a crucial part of their plan, because local regional television is the lifeblood of Major League Baseball in terms of money. This is where the Dodgers and obviously there are bigger markets in New York. This is where they get all their money. Mm-hmm. So capitalizing on what's there now is going to be crucial for this team in order to get more money for payroll, right? So this is how on the field. So kind of explain what the situation they're in right now and what they have to do.
Well, they walked away from, and rightfully so, Main Street Sports, who was paying them. Now, there are estimates all over the place as to what exactly the Rays were getting. But I think an educated guess would be somewhere between $45 and $55 million from them. Yep. I think that's an educated guess. Some would go up a little bit, one would go down a little bit. And in cases, again, they renegotiated that deal, as you remember, when FanDuel, which was Diamond Sports, went out of business. They renegotiated. I'm assuming they did not renegotiate up. So,
right. Yeah.
So whatever that number is, it's somewhere. Let's just call it 50, just to make it simple. They clawed back their rights in large part because Rob Manfred wants everybody to be under the MLB TV moniker going into 2028, because that's when they have the national contract come up.
Right.
If he can sell the national contract with regional sports intact with it, then the regional the teams that are on the MLB TV platform will receive more money than they would normally. Okay. So if you take that situation, and we have to build a hybrid now, we're almost going back to the future.
Right.
When I first started, I worked after WTOG, I went with TVS and Warner Sports. They owned USA Network at the time and regional sports networks. And basically what we did is we produced games, and then they would show either on pay TV, because cable was not something that was readily available in the big cities, right? So you had pay TV, you had over-the-air broadcast, you had cable, and that was the three things that got things going. Real quick, little short history lesson: 1984, Cable Act came up that allowed cable companies to bundle content, and from that point on, man, the money just flowed.
Yeah,
and then executives like John Skipper at ESPN decided, well, gosh, if we want to get baseball, football, basketball, whatever, we're gonna have to overpay for it.
Right.
Not by the point that John and some of his predecessors did. They went way over the top. Now, what blew the RSNs away is a series of things. One, the Dodger and Laker deal that they did with Spectrum, which was estimated at between $7 and $8 billion. And for the Lakers, I think it was $3 to $5 billion. And this is over a 20
gigantic
period.
rights fees.
Right. It's over a 20-year period. At the same time, Yes became I worked with Harvey Schiller on developing that network.
So that was a Yankee-owned.
That's Yankees
network.
owned.
So Yankees took it basically in-house and made all the money off it.
That's right. And that is what happened with SNY, which is where the Mets are.
Yeah.
So what do we do now, right?
Right.
If the Rays were to craft a 6 or 7 station market, I mean, you see it with the Lightning now.
Yeah.
Type of market that would get them into, say, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Orlando, Gainesville, Ocala, Tampa Bay, Sarasota, and Fort Myers. It is conceivable that with that money and the money that they would receive from MLB TV, that they could easily be right back at that $50 million number. They might
that's adding like Orlando as a local television station, Orlando, which the Lightning have in Fox 35. That's where their games are.
Right.
And they have the rights to the Orlando market, the Jacksonville market, the Tallahassee market, the Pensacola market, all those other markets other than.
Well, I mean, you're right. The Lightning does have the rights in Pensacola. The Rays couldn't, because that's claimed by it's a double claim actually by the Braves and by the Houston Astros.
Oh, okay, all right.
So they
have all these other markets that they can that are theirs to put a local TV station. And much like WTOG this past year, Channel 44 ran 15 games, and they had tremendous success in sales. I was told they were selling 30-second spots for $1,500, which in this market is really good.
It is.
And if they can, do you sense that they'll maybe want to double down with TOG, or you've got Channel 8 as a player now that they've acquired, Nexstar has acquired Tenga, so they have Channel 8 and Channel 10. If that merger goes through, I don't know if it's gone through yet, but if that goes through, they'll have.
It hasn't, but that's okay.
So
they still work together.
Yeah, and then there's Scripps Sports, which is doing the Lightning games. Where do you see the Rays strategy working out here?
I think that the Rays strategy would have to be, they couldn't be with the Lightning because there's too many overlaps.
Right?
Right. So that one is kind of out the window.
Take Scripps Sports out.
Yeah, I'm assuming for the moment, let's move them to the side. I wouldn't count them out, but I'd say let's just move them to the side for the moment. The TOG thing, I'm biased there, but I think that would be the best place to go.
And they're owned by CBS, right?
Yeah, they're owned by CBS. Yeah. The other option you talked about, Nexstar, Nexstar is also very engaged in local sports. So that's an option as well. How do they make the money, right? You just mentioned the amount of money they were getting on ad space.
Local sales, yeah.
Yeah. Here's how they make the other money. Every cable company in the state of Florida has a carriage deal with the local TV station.
Right. Yeah. What they call must carry. The local TV stations are must carry on all cable. Yeah.
And they also must be paid. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's say, and this is about the amount of money that they receive, they meaning your local TV station. Let's use TOG from a point of reference. They receive about $1 to $2 per subscriber.
Cable subscriber, right?
Yeah, cable per subscriber. Month. And also from YouTube TV and Fubo and Hulu, TV Live, all right? So it is conceivable that they could negotiate up $1, $2 that would go to the Rays. So you now have an advertising stream. You have a stream that comes from your local and regional partners. And then you've got the MLB component to it. Okay.
Yeah.
The key here to me is, and I've worked with companies where we basically told professional sports teams, do not sell your TV rights.
Right.
Do not sell your radio rights. Let us, let's sell everything.
Yeah.
And have a 365-day a year relationship
instead of for just the games.
Yeah, than a seasonal deal, right?
Right.
So, with those three elements, you could get back to that 50 million number. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow if they open it up, but consider this: if you do, let's say in Jacksonville. Right, you got the ownership group in Jacksonville. I'm pretty sure they could find a way to get on in Jacksonville.
Yeah, they have some contacts.
They got a little pull there. If they took WJXT, which is Channel 4 in Jacksonville, that goes all the way up to Brunswick, Georgia, on must carry. So you're talking, you're easily talking between 4 to 4.5 million subscribers if you put those cities together. So, let's just say $2 a month out of that.
Yeah.
You're talking $8 million a month.
So to kind of bring this all together, Jim, you think what do you think? Now there was reports out there that Sternberg got $85 million from I guess it was with Fox Sports Sun, I think at that particular time. So that was a 10-year deal, and I believe he got half of that up front, according to the lawsuit that was that money was disclosed in that lawsuit. So we think that's pretty accurate. Do you think there's any way they can get back to that number per year eventually?
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
And that's going to be dependent a great deal on what Manfred does with the new 2028 contract.
Yeah.
If you remember, the funny thing is that sports business, and specifically sports business media, has now become mainstream, sports. Yeah. Everybody wondering and speculating on what's going on. We all know that the NBA got approximately $76 billion for their contract. The NFL contract's coming up around 2029, 2030. Okay. God knows what they're going to get. I mean, they print the money there.
That's $76 billion the NBA got over how many years?
It's a 10-year deal.
Wow.
And they shut out TNT and put in, obviously, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And that was a very, because I know TNT was coming back and going, we got screwed in this deal. No, they didn't. They just didn't bid on it properly.
Yeah, right.
So the streamers are going to become a huge, important part of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
My understanding with Manfred in speaking to, folks in the Major League Baseball office, that they know they're not going to get 76 million, a billion. I'm sorry. But they'd be happy with in that 35 to 50 billion dollars.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a lot of money for the clubs coming up.
That's
Jim,
hopeful, yeah.
it's a very interesting setup, and I know these things take time, and there are a lot of negotiations.
Yeah.
They don't have a whole lot of time. It's we got 3 months to actually 2 months to spring training almost,
right.
or less.
They're going to have to pivot quickly.
Yeah,
which means give the rights. Basically, the local rights are going to work with MLB TV, and they're going to try to work out something as they develop. I mean, you've got a new ownership group and now a new TV situation.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they'll sit down and work it out and figure out what makes the most sense for them. But, I think the death of the regionals, at this point is there because everything was predicated on that cable TV money, and it's not there.
Yeah.
So,
it'll be interesting
time
times
for $85 million, but is it realistic? I don't know.
We shall see. Interesting stuff, Jim. Appreciate your expertise on this.
One quick one as we go out the door. I can tell you right now that if Mike Tomlin walks into a broadcast studio, which, by the way, CBS, NBC, and Amazon have already talked to his representative, he will become the highest paid color analyst if they don't take him into the booth at about $16 to $20 million.
Jeez, wow. Which is a lot more money than he was making as a coach.
Well, Dick Vitale, who and I know, great guy. I love Dick's, they asked him if he wanted to coach again. He goes, why would I want to coach? I can coach Kentucky on Monday. I can coach Indiana on Tuesday. And Dick, it would go 8 days a week.
It's way more fun and a lot less
way
pressure.
more fun. Yeah. And exactly. He's not going to get fired by the by the boosters.
That's for sure.
Good for Mike if that's where he goes. But anyway, entertaining show as always. And whatever you need, if you need anything from me,
thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. I'm going to retweet that article, the 2 articles that you wrote. Very, very interesting. So you guys can see a little bit more of the details of what the Rays are doing. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you.
Take care. Bye.
I love that. I love your background too. Like right there in the middle of the
pretty cool, wasn't
it? Yeah. Look very real. Look very, very real. All right. When you take one more break, we'll come back and then we'll hit all of I have the updated portal rankings for you as well. We will do that when we come back. Stay with us. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here as we roll on this Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We are brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, where we had lunch yesterday. Saw Andres, the managing general partner over there. By the way, they have that great Mexican takeout place across the street called Boda. If you've not been here, it is fresh Mexican food. It is fantastic. They have a 3-taco special for lunch. I think it's like $12. It's really, really good. The food is super, super fresh. You will love it. Go check it out. It's called Boda, and it's right across from Riveter. So if you're new for some wings, and boy, we had some wings yesterday. Woo! Big O and Charlie Strong and I went over there, enjoyed some wings.
What Charlie think of Riveters?
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah,
He likes his wings extra crispy.
Oh, I do too,
extra
man.
Crispy. Lemon pepper. Yeah, really good. It's got a great lunch, great atmosphere.
Good.
Love that place over there. So if you're going to watch football this weekend, a little wild card football, you're looking for a place to watch any of the Lightning games tomorrow night, Riveters is the place to go each and every day. And Boda, if you're looking for a nice, fresh Mexican, you get a mobile order, by the way, and have a drive-through.
Oh,
it's right next to Timmy's favorite spot in Tampa. The Mons.
Spaceship?
No, it's across the street where the Mons is. It's right next to the Mons. Used to be a Taco Bell, but now they're serving good Mexican food. And I had Taco Bell the other night. Ashley's a huge Taco Bell. She loves
like Taco Bell. I worked at Taco. It was one of my first jobs. It was actually my second job. I was working at a grocery store as a courtesy clerk, which meant I sacked groceries and took them out to the car for you. And then all my friends, they opened a Taco Bell down the street, first one in the town that I worked at or that I lived in. And so all my friends started working there. So I quit my grocery store job and went and worked with them at Taco Bell. It's a good place to work. We wore polyester uniforms back then, 100% polyester, man. Head to toe, the hat, polyester, the shirt, we had to wear everything underneath it because it itched so bad. It was like burlap.
That has to be toxic. But
I'm okay with Taco Bell food.
Really?
I don't mind it. I mean, I'm not going to pick it to go for a fine dinner or anything, but if I'm in a rush and I'm passing a Taco Bell on the road, I need something quick, I'll go get me a burrito supreme. And
I think it's hit and miss. Some days it's pretty good, but most days it's and it does not sit well. She loves it though, and she loves like the super nuclear hot sauce. I can't do it. Woo.
Yeah, their sauce isn't that hot. Like my kid, like even Eli, my 17-year-old.
No, their hot is not like I eat their hot sauce. It's not that hot, but the other stuff is not good. All right, so guess who has the number one portal class?
Not Florida State.
Indiana.
Of course.
Indiana.
starting to
This
really
is not a
hate
one-shot
Indiana.
deal, folks. They ain't going away.
Unless Kurt goes away.
Yeah, well, true. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't either.
I could be wrong, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Yeah, they got 15 total transfers coming in, only 5 going out. So they got the number 1 ranking. And number 2, your boys, the Texas Tech Raiders. Oh, yeah. So they got 18 coming in, 21
they got the number
going
1
out.
quarterback in the portal too.
Yeah.
Brendan Sorsby out of Cincinnati.
Is he better than Sam Levitt?
Oh,
is he better than Ashton Daniels?
Yeah.
Going to FSU, baby?
Yes, he is.
Well, the thing about Ashton Daniels, he played pretty well the last couple games against Alabama. He played pretty well. Put some numbers up. But what I like about this deal is he's not being given the number 1 spot. He's going to have to battle Kevin Sperry for the number 1 job. So I think Mike has maybe learned that you just don't give guys starting positions when you bring them in from the portal. If you bring them in, it's interesting because Joe said this. Joe Madden said this last night as well. He said, when you make changes at the deadline in baseball, he said, you better make sure that whoever you bring in is an upgrade. Because if it's not an upgrade, an obvious upgrade, then the guys that are there that's not cool. It's going to bother them. It's like, why are you shipping out my boy and bringing in somebody who's not as good? It's got to be an obvious upgrade. And I think too often you have situations, we've seen that at Florida State, where you have them bringing in guys at running back and other positions, edge, and you've got guys that have been working their ass off for 2 or 3 years who you recruited, and you immediately give their spot to somebody else. That reverberates through the whole team. So I think that's one of the portal lessons that you have to learn is that when you bring guys in and they take positions of people who are already there, they better be obvious upgrades to everyone. And if they're not, I think you have issues.
Yep.
I think that's fair. So yeah, then I mean, this transfer portal is interesting because Texas A&M, this is according to On3, by the way, and very subjective. Like Louisville, 24 coming in, 23 going out. How can you have any consistency with your programs like this? Virginia Tech is 5. So right away, James Franklin recruiting his ass off, 22 in, 20 out. Houston is number 6. Houston. How about that?
Wow.
Ole Miss is 7. UCLA is 8. They have 37 transfers coming in. 37. Woo. Florida's 9th. They're the top program in Florida. Their portal, they got 22 coming in. They've lost 27. Another, huge turnover. Colorado is 10th, 27 in, 34 out. 34 players leaving Deion's program. That's almost as much as Florida State. Arkansas is 11th. Virginia is 12th. Arkansas is an interesting situation. Arkansas's got money. They got facilities. They've got the SEC. Can't get it right.
Jerry Jones money.
Yeah, Jerry Jones money.
Just like the Cowboys, they can't get it right.
They got Walmart money.
Yeah, the Walmart money, yeah.
Yeah, NIL's important. You got to have money, but you got to have coach too. Tennessee's 14, Mississippi State 13. Now, I had seen USF in the top 30 at some polls. I don't see him anywhere here in the On3. And I'm yeah. Interesting. Yeah, Cal's at I don't see him. I'm to 30, 35. Miami's 37. Still haven't got to Florida State, by the way. And this takes in. I think that maybe it's because the On3 looks at the players that are coming in and the players that are leaving. So if you got like USF has a lot of good players coming in, but they lost a lot of good players. So that's how On3 looks at it. It's not just I think some places just look at like what you got coming in, but they don't look at what you lost. So when you lose a Byron Brown and a Singleton and some of these other guys, I think it kind of washes out. So Florida State, 58. Ooh. 13 coming in, 37 going out. The Desir twins yesterday entered the portal.
Yeah.
58th. That's not good. Index score, a -12. So your 5-7 team got worse. So you got that to look forward to.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. So those are your updated portal rankings, if you're interested. Yeah. And I did mention the Gators at number 9. Yeah, Florida State is in an absolute free fall. An absolute free fall. It's a shock. And our boy Dante Moore, Oregon quarterback, who was mentioned by some to be a possible number 1 overall draft pick, is going back to Oregon. So I know you don't think he would be the number 1 pick, but you don't know that.
No, and you know what? He's the number 1 pick. Like Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be the number 1 pick last year. There's no way Dante Moore is NFL ready. Like, I don't see where any of that is coming from.
Well, that's why he's going back to school.
Right.
People are saying, oh, well, he can make more money in college. No, he can't. The number 1 overall pick last year got $48 million guaranteed. And it goes up by about $5 million every year. So you're going to get
money.
$52 million guaranteed over 4 years, plus a 5th-year option. And your bonus is $35 million. So those of you who are in the, on Twitter say, oh, we can make more money in college. No, you can't.
No,
not if you're
as a first-round pick. Now,
Yeah.
second and third rounders, yes, will make more money in college immediately. Not a first rounder.
So, and I don't know where he would have gone. I mean, with quarterbacks, to your point, they could start as like, oh, he might be the number 1 pick and end up in the 7th round, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people say, oh, he could be the number 1. You never know. You got to go through the whole process, and the process changes things dramatically, as we've seen. We've seen guys that were like predicted maybe 4th or 5th round suddenly jump up to be the first overall pick. It's happened before. Cam Newton, it's happened to a lot. So you never know. No. But the fact that he's going back, and I think part of it is he's 20 years old and he's had 20 starts. And everybody, if you're a college quarterback, I would implore you to do what Dante Moore is doing. Get to 30, 40 starts in college. Because you cannot develop at the professional level. I think this idea that you could draft an Anthony Richardson with 15 starts and him become a great player, I just think it's silly. Now, we might find some along that are so talented that it just doesn't matter. But I think for the most part, it matters, and it matters a lot. So go back, get some seasoning, make lots of money, enjoy your college time at Oregon. There's no rush. If I'm a kid like that, there's no rush. Now, if you get injured, I get it, but you're still making a lot of money in college. A shit ton of money. And and in the long run, you'll make more. If you go into the draft right now, first of all, you're going to get picked by the Raiders or the Jets. That's a death knell. So be, and wherever you go in the top 5, 10 picks, you're going to probably go to a bad team. That's just kind of the way it works. But at least if you go to a bad team and you're a seasoned quarterback, you got a better chance of surviving. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's actually a good development that he's going back to get fixed, so to speak. All right. Anything else we missed today that we wanted to get to?
I don't think so. The NIL, by the way, the transfer portal closes tomorrow.
Right.
So on Monday,
enter it.
To
put your name in.
Correct. Yes.
So after you can sign, is there a deadline to when you can sign?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Well, I mean, you got to, I guess, enroll at school at some point, right?
I mean, you would think.
Yeah. All right, you guys, thanks again for all your contributions on today's show. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. Orestes Estrada is going to join us tomorrow. Charlie Strong will join us tomorrow to take a look at the preview, the Miami-Indiana game, and some of the wild card games going on this weekend since he just coached against some of these teams. So that'll be fun. So I'll do all that tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. See you then.